What's going on, guys? It's Macleod MGF, and today I'm going to be doing another LEGO Star Wars 2014 set review on the Droid Gunship, and the set number for this one is 75042. Recommended ages are 8 through 14, and an piece count, which is not pictured on the box, of 439. And this one retails for $49.99, and just like all the LEGO Star Wars 2014 sets, it will not be out until March, as I had this imported from the Czech Republic. But yeah, so this set I'm really excited about because I myself, way back in 2008 when I was starting on YouTube, I missed out on the Droid Gunship. So that's what's really great about the LEGO Star Wars 2014 lineup, is that you get the set, you get the second chance that you wanted to get the sets that you missed out on, and not to mention, first Chewbacca in 14 years, first new variation. It's taken the LEGO group long enough, and really glad to finally see an update on Chewbacca, as it's a really great improvement and definitely a step in the right direction for that character. And yeah, so I really want to apologize just real quick, guys. If you're not already aware, I am moving, and I just have not been able to record at all. I wanted to record and post this video 4 days ago, but our van has been so caught up and, you know, so tied up with moving, I haven't been able to use it to get over to the storage area where I have my video set up, my video studio set up, and I just haven't been able to get the chance to record. But finally, I did get the opportunity, and here I am recording this review for you guys. So I really do apologize for that, but just bear with me, as we should be done moving around the middle of this month, I'm really hoping. But regardless, we are done moving all of our stuff into storage now, so therefore I will have all the time that I need to come over here and record, as our vehicle is now fully accessible. So this whole inconsistency crap should stop, so that's a good thing. But regardless, guys, let's go ahead and take a look at the new Kashyyyk Trooper and the new Chewbacca. No one cares for the droids, and we will continue on with the review. Alright, so we all want to see him first. So we're going to start off with the first Chewbacca variant, the first new Chewbacca variant in 14 years. Now, I mean, way back in, I don't even remember what year it was. I was a really small kid. But when LEGO was transitioning from the old brown color to the brown color we use now, they updated the Chewbacca mold to that brown color at that time. So I don't really consider that a change in variation for the minifigure. So what I say is that this is the first update with the Chewbacca mold in 14 years, which I think is just ridiculous. How did the LEGO group manage to go 14 years without any of us complaining about it? I mean, it's a long overdue upgrade. 14 years, that's longer than some of you have been on this planet. So I don't know what the heck kept the LEGO group from making a new Chewbacca variant, but here he is. He's finally happened, and I would have preferred to have this one debut in the Ewok Village, but that's okay, because, you know, the Ewok Village was more of a defining LEGO Star Wars set, but it is still great to see him debut in any LEGO Star Wars set regardless. And yeah, so one thing to note on, two things actually, before we talk about the actual mold, is the fact that this Chewbacca variant is actually much bigger than the one that we all know and love, and or loved, for that matter. And that's good, because Chewbacca, this variant, is just was always smaller than it should have been, and Wookiees are pretty big, so it's great to see that change, not to mention the color change. There is now a standard for Wookiees, which is dark brown rather than the normal brown that this one provided, so that's really great. I mean, this is really a more accurate Chewbacca and just much better, and it's a long overdue update, so I'm glad that it finally happened. I really am. But I mean, one problem with the mold and the whole, like, you know, printed on eyes and teeth. If you look like at that angle, or maybe that angle right there, it just doesn't look like Chewbacca. It's just really kind of odd looking at certain angles, but I mean, when you look at it straightforward, it's a fantastic minifigure, and the printing is phenomenal. I mean, the color variety within his fur is there. You have his straps with the silver printing on those. The actual fur mold, like the design of the fur, is just really fantastic. This is just the most, this is the best upgrade that we've had with a minifigure in a long time. I really gotta say, this is a fantastic Chewbacca minifigure, and he even has printing on the legs. Never thought I would see the day that Chewbacca would have printing on the legs. That's really great, and a nice continuation of the fur that he has, and it's just a really long overdue upgrade. Not the most complex minifigure, but still really up there in terms of quality. And now we finally have printed eyes and printed teeth. So, I mean, looking back on it, guys, what was this? I mean, I never noticed how bad this classic Chewbacca was until now. I mean, yeah, he was great. He was a great minifigure for so many years, but looking back at it, man, he needed it to be changed and to be updated, just like this. So it's great to see him. And of course, he does have the standard Chewbacca bowcaster. No update with that, because there really isn't, you know, a necessary update to be made. His bowcaster has always been a great design, but there's the first Chewbacca variant in 14 years. Then we do have the new Kashyyyk Troopers, and if you saw my Kashyyyk Troopers review, I really go into a lot of detail about how fantastic these minifigures are, so I'm going to try to slip through this guy a little bit quicker, but for the most part, the helmet is an entirely new mold. It's really great. Some of you guys complain that the visor is a little bit misshapen on here, and the green color is a little bit too bland, but I still think it's really nice, and his visor is outlined in black. The new Kashyyyk Troopers are in a olive green color. They do have camouflage printed all over their torso, his knee pads, all over his helmet. Really, it's just an incredible minifigure. The Kashyyyk Troopers are great, and the Kashyyyk Troopers Battle Pack is really also awesome to get these in, because you're not going to have trouble getting a really good amount of these, which is really great to know. It does suffer from that same printing, belt printing flaw that practically all LEGO Star Wars minifigures that attempt to sport it will suffer from, being the fact that the pouches cut off and then continue down around the bottom half of the belt and look really inconsistent. But that's really the only flaw that I myself care about with the Kashyyyk Troopers. Other than that, the leg printing is fantastic. These guys are heavily detailed. The designer behind this really knew what he was doing, and you can see that we do have the breather, which is also really nice. The breather has sort of ventilation design on the very front and center of it, not to mention the actual little breather, like circular object things on the front. Do you know the very detailed names of a breather? Because I don't. But if you know what those little circular things are, be sure to leave them in the comments below, because that dives into some detail that I just would prefer to stay away from. A little bit too detailed, but the actual minifigure itself is not too detailed, as this is what I would expect from the LEGO group with an upgrade to the Kashyyyk Trooper, and he does have the standard blaster, so the new blasters that are in the battle packs do not carry over to other sets, which I think is kind of weird and inconsistent, but above all, really fantastic minifigure, standard clone trooper head, and finally, a new Kashyyyk Trooper. Really great, and you can get these in high quantities. They're not really scarce, so that's really great. But yeah, new Kashyyyk Trooper. So, I don't know what rock you're living under if you haven't seen this minifigure. This is just a super battle droid. There's no, like rocket arm or anything like that. Just your basic super battle droid, nothing new about it. And you know what? He doesn't even deserve any more screen time, so let's just go ahead and move on. Excluding parents who might be watching this review, you must be a Neanderthal if you haven't seen this minifigure, so why is he still even here? Alright, so moving the minifigures aside, along with the box, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the actual Droid Gunship, and this is a really fantastic vehicle. It's a really great version of the Droid Gunship, and to be quite honest, I really couldn't ask for more with this thing. I just think it's really, really great. I mean, if you go ahead and, just Google a picture of the Droid Gunship, this is about all you can ask for. It has the very basic feature of the Droid Gunship being the bombs on the bottom, which I'll get to in just a bit. It does actually have landing gear here. It's just a really accurate version of the Droid Gunship, and that's what I really appreciate the most about this thing. Not only are the features really great, but it's really an accurate looking Droid Gunship, and far better than the first one we received 5 years ago. So this is really great. But starting off with the cockpit here, the cockpit opens just like so with a couple hinge pieces right there, and flipping that open, you can see in there, it's a little bland. There's no control panel piece or anything special really, which is kind of a disappointment, but there really doesn't need to be, because I mean, as it is, it's already kind of funny, because you practically just take your droid, your battle droid, and you just slip them in right here. I mean, there is something cool about this. When I say, that the fact that there isn't a control panel piece, I mean that there isn't one right here where you can see it, because you do have one right here, which is practically just taking the battle droid out real quick, which is practically just a little picture of, a little silhouette of an AT-AT. It's a really cool sticker, and it's great. It's great to have that there, but you can't see it yourself because it's upside down until you actually close it up, so only your little plastic battle droid is going to be able to see that little control panel piece when the cockpit is sealed up. But then you have these two little hinge pieces right here to represent those signature eyes that the Droid Gunship vehicle is known for, and it's definitely a really great design, and obviously the defining factor for the look of the Droid Gunship, which is definitely executed in a very nice way. And then on the front here, we have a couple of ball turrets, which are fully rotatable and do not really have any limitations whatsoever. So it's really great to see these again. And not to mention the actual main gun here, which is basically just a robot arm with a rod shoved in it. So it's really nothing insane there. But you can see we do have the little tusks on the front here. They're not necessarily called tusks, but I mean, if you'd like to go on Wikipedia and learn every little detail about the Droid Gunship, be my guest, as personally I don't think it's really necessary to know, obviously. But anyway, other stickers being, we have a sticker here, and then a sticker here, here, and then a couple on the back for the engines. So a decent variety of stickers, I must say, but it's definitely necessary to capture the look of the Droid Gunship, one of the Separatists' best vehicles to put up against the Republic. And then you'll notice up here we have a really nice level of detail with some nice sloping going on here. The whole shape of this is really spot on, and I really love the venting up here. That's a really nice touch, and it's just a really great looking design. And then the head can move a little bit. It's nothing really insane though. It's just more so attached on there. It's not really supposed to bend at all. And then we have these robot arms here, which have these little blue blades attached to them, and that is a signature part of the Droid Gunship. So it's really great to see the LEGO Group, recognizing little details like that. But anyway, we have these little flaps on each side here, and they are pretty posable themselves. What you're seeing here are the stopping points for these flaps here. And also, by the way, there is a couple more stickers. There is a blue stripe here and a blue stripe right here on the opposite side. Didn't point that out and just realized it, so that should be about your basic set of stickers for this set. But yeah, so the flaps on either side are identical, and they do support the spring-loaded shooters. These are the new spring-loaded shooters, and I'm not going to talk too much about them. They don't really look like LEGO, which is my only problem with them. They look less like LEGO than they should, and I mean, other than that though, they're pretty effective, way more effective than any flick-fire missile ever was. So these spring-loaded shooters, while they may not look too much like LEGO, they are still the most effective playability feature the LEGO Group has ever come up with. And the way you fire them is pretty simple. Practically, you just push on them, and you can either push on them to the... Actually, you have to push on them for this set anyway, with the way they're positioned. You have to, as I just put it in backwards, you have to push practically to the right. So reloading them inside this little spring-loaded shooter 1x4 brick, you pretty much, for this set, for this one, you push it to the right, fires, and then this one on the opposite side, you push it to the left, and then it fires. So that's pretty much it. Check that out. I just caught that, and it's a great playability feature. I mean, while the spring-loaded shooters don't look too much like LEGO, as you can see, they are super effective, and they will send whatever minifigure they come in contact with flying. So really do like the spring-loaded shooters, just not too fond of the general look of them. But anyway, moving on with the main feature of this set, it is actually a really cool feature. It just kind of takes a while to reload. And by the way, the landing gear here is nothing too insane. They're basically just these little flaps with a couple slopes on top of them that you just pull out, and they act as landing gear. It's nothing too insane, but it's still pretty freaking cool, as it's pretty effective as landing gear. And yeah, landing gear. And then, the main feature, we've got bombs on the bottom of this thing. And practically, the droid gunships, they're not actually like Republic gunships. They're not meant to drop off droids. They're more meant for airstrikes to support, whatever battle droids may be on the battlefield. So that's what this is about here. It's practically, you have 3 missiles right here and here. And if we go ahead and pull this up to give you a look at what it looks like inside there, there is a Technic rod right here. And so practically whenever you pull out one of these little, slots here, you pull it out and then it drops whatever bombs are on, that are attached to this rod here. So you pull it out, and then you see whichever missiles are respective to the one you pull out are the ones that fall. And practically the way they're attached is very simple. You just go ahead and lock them right onto one of these little Technic rods, and then you go ahead and just pull back on the same lever to lock them in place, and just putting them back on here. You can pretty much see, it's kind of a pain though, because if you don't have the right angle when reloading these, as you can see, they'll just fall right out of place again, which is not really a great thing. So while it is a really great playability feature, it's just the problem being is that it's kind of a pain to reload, because when you use it, you're not going to use it very quickly afterwards, because you got to sit there for a good couple minutes just putting them back into place. So I'm not going to pull out the other ones, as it's literally just the same thing, just these ones will fall out when you pull on this rod. So really nothing too insane about the other one, given it's the same exact thing. But Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the Droid Gunship, guys. A absolute fantastic level of detail on this one. Really unbelievably accurate to the actual vehicle, which I think is definitely really great about this one. And the landing gear definitely helps in, in cases like this. But regardless, there's the Droid Gunship. So happy I finally have one, as I, like probably a lot of you, missed out on the one that was given to us back in 2008. And then we have the Kashyyyk Trooper and the Chewbacca figure, which are kind of outgunned because you've got a whole Droid Gunship with a friggin' airstrike load of bombs on it, and then you've got just Chewie and a Kashyyyk Trooper, not to mention the Super Battle Droid, which doesn't help anything, so it's kind of an unfair fight. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the Droid Gunship. Absolutely fantastic sets. Let's go ahead and take a look at the box, instruction manual, extra pieces, and we'll conclude the review. So we have a pretty decent piece count with this set, therefore we get a pretty decent sized box. And as you can see, we do not have the piece count, which is 439 pieces on the left side here, simply because this is the European version of the box. As I mentioned, I did get this imported from the Czech Republic. And you can see in the bottom left corner here, we do have the new spring-loaded shooter, and then we have the 4 minifigures that are included with the set on the bottom right corner, and the new Chewbacca and Kashyyyk Trooper, which are super awesome, and then the graphic for the new 2014 look with Darth Vader and the whole Mustafar molten lava type texture, which is definitely pretty sweet, not to mention the actual graphic itself with the Droid Gunship. Brilliant backdrop, just really reminiscent of the Battle of Kashyyyk, not to mention the back here, and the back is pretty cool. You can see we have the Droid Gunship docked on what appears to be one of these shores on Kashyyyk, along with the new Kashyyyk Trooper and Chewbacca battling against the 2 droids that are included with the set. And then we have an action shot in the top right corner here, along with some, pretty much all the features that I just went over. So nothing really new there aside from this action shot and the nice graphics that come with it. So that's pretty much it for the box, guys, other than the fact that you do have the new Chewbacca variant supporting the actual size reference right here. It's a pretty basic box, but definitely serves its purpose. So for 439 pieces, this is actually a pretty decent sized instruction manual. It's actually a 65-page build, so it is kind of extensive for what it is, but regardless, you can see we do have, if we just slip by here, we do have the new advertisement for lego.com/Star Wars, the features that I just went over on the left side there, and then we do have a nice lineup of renders of all the new minifigures that are being included with the LEGO Star Wars 2014 lineup, and dang it, I just really want to get all these sets to review for you guys, because I still haven't gotten my hands on Commander Gree, or the Shock Trooper, the Wolfpack Trooper, Tarful, or any of the other awesome minifigures, but I am looking forward to it, and hopefully you are too. And then we do have the checklist for all the mainstream sets, excluding the microfighters and the exclusive sets, but regardless, there's the instruction manual. Pretty basic, but more extensive than you might think. So one of the biggest problems that the new spring-loaded shooters and the new blaster pistols represent is the fact that, well, I mean, you're going to lose these because this is a pretty effective playability feature, and it's actually, I mean, really easy to lose these. I think, I've only reviewed, I think about, 6, maybe 7 of the new LEGO Star Wars sets, and I think I've already come pretty close to permanently losing at least 2 of these, and it's kind of a problem, but LEGO does have you covered, and you do get an extra one in case you do end up losing one, so that's really great. And then you do get an extra set of droid arms in case Chewbacca rips them off, and they do get both varieties, so you're not getting gypped off by just getting like 2 of these, so that's good. And then we do get an extra couple of yellow studs, or transparent yellow studs, along with a connector, a couple of plates, along with a 1x1 black tile, so some pretty basic extra pieces. Alright guys, so that about wraps up the review on the LEGO Star Wars 2014 Droid Gunship, and this is a really fantastic set, but I know that I'm not pumping out reviews as fast as I really would like to, but I mean, when you're moving and you have an entire lineup of sets to get, and they're not even available in the United States, financially, that's kind of a stretch, and it's a stretch that I'm doing my best to meet because it's just not easy for me, usually during the beginning of each year. I mean, It's really, for me, in the beginning of every year, it's usually a financial triumph. I don't know why, but it just seems like at the beginning of every year, there's always something that really ties my hands together, stopping me from doing the things that I'd like to do for my channel. Regardless, I am doing my best, and I hope you guys know that, as that's why your support is very much appreciated, to show that you guys are still with me, regardless of, you know, how fast I can put videos out, or what videos I put out. So that's why I love you guys, so your support is very much appreciated. You can also follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Links to both of those are also in the description below. And if you want to keep up with me on a daily basis, then that's where you go, because I post on there all the time. I've always got my phone on me, so there's nothing stopping me from posting on there, which is great. So that's why I recommend you check those out if you'd like to. But regardless, this set is awesome. I really don't have a lot to complain about. I mean, it's super accurate. There's nothing more that I want out of this set. I think it is a perfect variation of the Droid Gunship. It is a really great design. It's fully accurate, and I just think it's great. You guys already heard me say all of this, so I'm not going to say it again, but it's great to get the Kashyyyk Trooper, and it's really great to get a new Chewbacca 14 years later. 14 years without a new Chewbacca. Oh my god. But anyway, guys, I think that's about it for this review, and I will see you in the next video, which will hopefully be the showcase on my Call of Duty Ghost figures, because that's long overdue. But alright guys, I'll see you later.
Bye!
It does keep the same general, really? I can't speak for my life. Gosh damn it. MachinimaSound, and today I'm going to be doing another LEGO Star Wars Summer 2014 set. Why am I saying summer? What the hell? Recommended ages are 8 through 14, and I do not have the piece count, so I'm going to go ahead and check brick set right now. What's going on, guys? It's MachinimaSound, and today I'm going to be doing another custom this is not a showcase. This is imported from the European stuffs. Gosh damn it.